Guy here with Jeff Cunningham from Redline Detection. We're walking around the show and we're looking at some of the new and interesting things that we're seeing here. And what do you have for me, Jeff?
Well, what we have here is the Smoke Pro, and this is a diagnostic leak detector. It's basically a smoke machine.
Are you sure it's a leak detection machine?
I hope so. That's what I'm selling it as. So.
All right.
I hope so.
So what you use it for is your own business, right?
Exactly, right. I can tell you what it's used for. Whatever you want to do is what you do, though.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is evaporative emissions.
Right. Yeah, it'll do your evap. It also does your intake leaks, your vacuum leaks, wind and water, headlight, tail lamp, exhaust, oil. It's pretty much going to give you all smoke technology is injecting the vapor into a sealed system and letting it find a leak for you.
So it's actually a lot safer than my tried and true method is sitting there spraying around with a carburetor cleaner on a hot engine hoping it doesn't catch fire.
We like to think so, yes.
Yeah, I think that would be a little bit safer.
Right. Definitely.
So if you're looking for vacuum leaks, you might be able to use this instead.
You would definitely be able to use this. Only uses shop air to hook up, 12-volt battery for the power. For your inspection light, also 12-volt. One button to smoke, one knob to turn to start producing smoke, and that's all you need. Give it 30 seconds, it'll find a leak for you.
Awesome. So you can stick that pretty much anywhere in a sealed system, and when the smoke comes out, you know you found the leak?
Got the repair job right there. You get to show
Awesome.
the customer as well. And also got to have a compound pressure gauge, which is going to do the leak down test after you fix it to make sure it's going to hold that pressure as well.
So what actually makes this smoke? Like special little elves on the inside rubbing their hands together?
That's pretty much it, yeah. And this mineral oil that we use, it's just basic medicinal mineral oil or baby oil. Lowest cost of ownership machine. If you run out of that after 500 cars or so, call us or go to Walmart and pick up some more.
So once you're done using it in the smoke machine, you could also put it on your hands and they'd be nice and supple.
Lotion, get the grease off, yeah, whatever you want.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it is.
Eric the Car Guy with David Wright from Safelite. How you doing?
Very well. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you also. What do you have here?
Well, the up-and-coming thing in portable handheld lighting is LED.
LEDs are way cool. Don't use a lot of power, and they're nice and cool and all that kind of stuff.
And very durable.
Indeed they are.
These lights are designed to be used by the real mechanic in the real world.
So you think I'm a real mechanic?
Not sure.
I don't live in the real world. I live in the internet, so somewhere out in cyberspace.
All right. Well,
Will it work in cyberspace?
It will work in cyberspace.
Show me how it works.
All right. This is called the Stubby 2 LED. It's got 8 half-watt LEDs on the side and a 1-watt lensed flashlight on the end. So you can get light into tight spaces using the flashlight. And the side LEDs are wide angle, so you can spread the light and light up the entire engine compartment when you're doing your job.
Yeah, one thing I hate about my drop lights is that they always want to fight me and like lay some way that doesn't put the light where I want it. That's extremely annoying, I got to tell you that.
Yep, and this is a wide angle LED, so it gets that light spread over a large area.
It's a nice bright color too.
Yep, that's actually...
It's not that old dingy yellow from those tungsten things we used to use.
That's right.
Every time you drop those, just blew out.
That's right.
I had to have a case of light bulbs just to keep them.
This is a 5,000 Kelvin colored light, so it's actually very similar to sunlight.
I'm familiar with it.
So...
the sunlight part.
The sunlight part.
Yeah.
All right.
It's that big orange thing in the sky, right?
Well, I think it's kind of yellow, but yeah.
Okay, yellow. It's yellow like your lights. Like a bad penny I keep turning up. It's Eric the Car Guy here with Bob Hall with Schumacher Electric. How you doing, Bob?
Very good, thank you.
What do you have here, Bob?
Well, for many years...
What do you do here at Schumacher Electric? Why don't we start with that?
Well, Schumacher Electric is the world's largest manufacturer of battery chargers.
I did not know that.
We manufacture about 18,000 battery chargers a day.
That's a lot of battery chargers.
It is. And for many years, there was nothing new in battery chargers or in batteries. And today, there's changes in batteries and changes in chargers. And so that's what we'll talk about a little bit is some of the new processor or smart chargers that are out on the market.
Let's talk about some.
Okay. Well, right behind us here is the largest selling segment of the business is battery maintainers. Batteries don't like to sit still. They just, even fully charged, they sulfate after a while. So battery maintainers are used to keep a small exciter charge in the battery and to prolong the life. If you take a new battery and put a maintainer on it, it'll double its life.
So, Bob, solar chargers. It sounds pretty green.
It's very green. No electricity required. What we're going
We make our electricity from the power of the sun.
we'd rather call convert.
Convert.
So we're going to convert the UV rays that we're getting out every day when we're getting suntans or sunburns, whatever you want to call it.
You have a nice tan, by the way.
What we're going to do with the solar charger is we're going to convert the sun's UV rays into 12-volt DC power to keep our batteries topped off.
We're going to put that big burning thing in the sky to use.
Yes, that's for sure. And once we buy this, there's no additional cost. So it's really nice. No electricity needed, no extension cords, safer, easier, and greener.
Eric, the car guy, here with David Fisher from Astra Pneumatic. And David is going to tell us a little bit about what Astra Pneumatic sells. David, how are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
So what do you have here? This is I know I'm
Standard hose clamp.
you know, I think some guys might be a little questionable about this color. Not that I mean, I like it. Purple's probably my favorite color, but this would you might even refer to as a lavender.
Yeah, you could go lavender. We have some Laker fans in the business.
Okay, so
we're
to bring up
California. Yeah,
okay, we're California.
LA
We're like
guys,
well,
so-
LA guys would make something of this color.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
No offense. No offense at all. So are these like hose clamp plier kind of things or
Yes, but you can get creative with it if you want to.
what do you mean by creative?
Oh, it looked like you were using it to kind of entertain the camera, so it's just
Oh, okay. So entertaining a camera you can use these things for.
yeah, definitely.
But as far as other uses, we're going to keep those off camera.
All right, but mostly hose clamp pliers.
Mostly hose clamp pliers. And these things are great when you're stuffed up underneath the car and you're trying to fight past the cross member to get that lower hose clamp off so you can get that stupid radiator out. Here you go. So what else have you got for us, David?
So-
Interesting. Is that an HVLP?
It is, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
With a toothbrush.
Yeah.
So if you're having difficulties with dental hygiene, it comes with a toothbrush along with the gun itself, which I think is a very useful thing to have. I mean, dental hygiene is important.
In this industry, especially. So.
Indeed it is.
Yes.
Why does my breath smell?
No. I mean, I was wondering the same.
Yours smells lovely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Eric, the car guy, again, here with Helene Curat with Autel, and she's going to tell us a little bit about some of these neat things that are behind us. Hi, Helene. How are you today?
Good. How's it going?
It's going awesome. I'm having a lot of fun at this show.
It's a good time.
So what do you have to show us?
This one right here is the
What is this one?
DS708.
It's a Maxi DOS.
Maxi 708.
All right, Maxi DOS.
Does pretty
Looks
much
like lots of European stuff there.
does European, does American, does Asian.
Oh yes, you had the European button clicked.
Yep.
Touchscreen?
Yep. Does OBD2, OBD1, airbag, oil maintenance lights, brake resets. You know, for the German cars, we have to retract the piston electronically. That'll
Yeah, the electronic pistons, those kind of things.
Yep. This one does pretty much everything in one tool.
So it also does the ABS codes, things like that.
Yeah.
Transmission codes.
Yep.
What other codes does it do besides those?
It'll give you body codes, chassis codes.
Ooh, nice.
Pretty much any code that the car is going to throw, this will pick up.
Eric, the car guy, here with Kirk Clore of Clore Automotive. How you doing, Kirk?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. So what do you have here for us today?
Our newest things for the 2011 show here would be our Adroit Test Pad battery testers. And what you've got here is a 6, 12, and 24 volt battery system testing based on a gaming style controller. So it's a very popular design, especially with the younger technicians that are just coming out of the schools, Votex. They're very familiar.
Play a lot of video games, that kind of thing. So
The demographics would be anybody under the age of 39 most likely grew up with a game controller in their hand.
you're trying to make me feel old, Kirk.
Well, we all feel old, do we not? So with the familiarity of, the goal is that they're automatically familiar and they don't have to open the instruction manual to know how to operate it.
They're not going to do that anyway.
That's correct.
How many of them do you really think are opening the instruction manual?
None.
I think you're on.
And that's the goal with the Solar testers, the whole line, but especially with the Adroit. There's just 2 buttons and they can toggle between to run their test.
So what do we hook up to when we hook this thing up?
So you're going to go directly, we got 6-foot cables at the end of the test pad. You're going to go directly to the battery that's installed in the vehicle or outside of the vehicle. Just
You got
AV clamp.
leads, positive, negative.
Yes. And then there's going to connect.
Or if it's stuffed under the back seat, those things that we got underneath the hood somewhere.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it can be used outside, like in just testing batteries in general outside of a vehicle.
That's nice.
So what we've got there is, so the installer would then open it up and then immediately see the open circuit voltage of that battery. And so in this case, 12.62 volts.
That's a good voltage.
Correct. It would be, this is a fairly charged battery. So in this case, he's just going to run a battery test. He's going to choose the type of battery, and there's a lot more types of batteries on the market.
Like say, for instance, we've got one of those racing gel type batteries, those kind of things. Those
AGM flat plate, standard starting lighting ignition batteries, gel cell you just referenced. AGM spiral was a popular choice, but in this case we've got a flat plate. The technician will then just push, He'll choose the type of test he wants to do. We're going to do a cold cranking amp test. We're going to choose the setting. We can go up in increments of 5 with the push pad.
That's nice because I've seen some that actually go up above and below the actual CCA that's on the battery, but never like dead on.
Absolutely. And the neat thing about this is it remembers the settings. So if you're in the same, if you're testing cars, most likely be in the 600 to 800 CCA, so you don't have to keep reprogramming.
You don't have to keep sitting there holding that button down, getting you back to that same CCA.
Correct. So in this case, we're going to test the battery at 575. So I'm just holding it. It's going in increments of 5. So we'll stop and go back down. We're going to hit enter, and now it's actually shooting a micro load through the battery tester. It's come back and told us it's 12.61 volts, 630 CCA. It's a good and pass. The technician then can toggle. State of charge is 81%. The state of health is 100%. And that actually just completes the test.
Okay, Eric, the car guy here with Tim Wagaman, and he is standing by this very cool Robinair AC recovery and recharge system, I guess you'd call it?
They call it maybe a recover, recharge, recycle machine, or RR machine.
So it also does some recycling as well?
Yes, it does. It has built-in recycling. There's actually standards and filters internally that basically there's requirements that we must meet from an industry standard that says we have to get the refrigerant back to a certain purity level before we store it into an internal tank. So it's stored internally after it's been recycled.
I get a lot of questions about air conditioning work for the do-it-yourselfer. And one of the reasons I say that for the do-it-yourselfer, it's not necessarily something that you can do effectively. One of the reasons is you would need a machine like this, particularly if the system is partially charged, to be able to recover some of the refrigerant that's in there in order to do any work on it.
Yeah.
So you can monitor pressures with this, you can recover with this, assuming you can also put a vacuum on the system before recharging. That's something this also does. And I also noticed this little bottle here on the side, and what's that for?
That bottle is for automatic oil injects. So say you're recovering a system, you recover the refrigerant out. As it's recovering the refrigerant, it's going to separate the oil, the lubricating oil that circulates within that vehicle's AC system. It's going to separate that from the refrigerant. As it separates it, it's going to go through a function that's going to drain the oil down in the little drain tank down there. And that's something that the technician, when they get to the point right before they recharge the system with refrigerant, they're going to want to inject the oil back into that AC system. And what they'll do is they'll look at that little collection tank, see how much was recovered from the vehicle, and then using the new oil tank, basically inject that amount back into the vehicle.
So you can see how much came out, and you can calculate that with the charge going back into the AC system itself. You'll have an exact amount of oil that goes in with the charge.
Looking at seeing how much came out, and then you're going to put that exact same amount back in of new oil back into that system.
So really, this is like your one-stop shop for recovery, recharge, and recycle. As you said, you can pretty much hook this up to the car. You can monitor the pressures right there. Add a refrigerant, add oil, and along with that oil, would it be possible to put some dye in with that oil before it goes in?
With this machine, we don't have the capability of putting in dye. You have to use a separate mechanism to get the dye in. We do have a machine, a different model that we do built into the machine, allows you to automatically inject dye into the system using the machine to do that function for you.
Awesome. Eric, the car guy here with Ed Lipscomb from OTC. He's going to walk us through some of these scanners that pretty much tell us all those things about the ghost in the machine. How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing great.
Loving the show?
I'm absolutely loving the show.
Outstanding.
I'm going to do this forever.
Oh, we want.
No, not forever.
Okay, me neither.
My feet are really tired.
I'm lying already. So,
but I do love seeing all these things. And
you know what? I'm a tool guy, ex mechanic, right? Shop owner, and so I'm a tool guy. So I'm in my element. I love this.
All right, Ed, what do you have here?
Well, first of all, what I want to show you here, just in general, is these are what we call our triage tools. Okay, think about this. We have our large tools, and we're going to get to those. But a lot of them now are PC based. Well, okay. Do you turn on your PC in the morning? What does it take? 45 seconds, 2 minutes for everything to boot up, and you do a lot of work. Technicians don't have that kind of time when they get cars that come in the morning. They need to do some quick, hey, what's wrong with it? Check engine lights on. What's the code? In many cases, a good professional technician, you give him a code, he'll go, I bet they left the gas cap off, right? So he'll go flip open the door, and he just needs seconds. So what we've got...
Yeah, but don't put one of these in the hands of a service writer. That's all I got to say.
Oh, no. I got this whole thing about service riders. We don't want to get me going on that.
All right, we're done. We're done.
Okay. Yeah. So we actually have a smaller code reader that's being used right now that I can't show you, but right here, this is the smallest, what I would call scan tool that you can get. It's very inexpensively priced, but it will give you live data. So a technician can go out, read codes. He can also take a quick look at live data, know what he's doing. It's inexpensive, a few $100, and you turn it on, it goes to work right away.
So you get that pesky PO 420. You want to find out if that rear O2 is working.
Oh, absolutely. And you can do it, and you can do it quickly.
Well, unfortunately, people, all good things must come to an end. And it appears that the Tool Show 2011 has come to an end. So everybody's packing up their stuff and heading out. And unfortunately, we have to too. But come on, we had a great time here. My heartfelt thanks goes out to all those vendors that had us out and showed us their products and all those neat new things coming out. I love touching new tools. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. It's good to be me today. You want to be me today. But I brought you along with, and you know, that's the best I can do. And I'll just keep on doing it. So hopefully they'll have us again next year. Anyway, I'm Eric the Car Guy, and you know how it goes. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. See ya.